How about alignments? So aligning objects is basically a way that I can put them in an organized alignment, put them in a way that I can make certain edges match up. So our align panel actually has a couple different features, and I'm going to make my align panel be visible, go under window, and the align panel happens to be in object and layout. So object and layout, then align, and here it is. It's grouped with the Pathfinder typically. So my align panel has two sections, one for aligning objects and one for distributing objects. So my align, the top part, the alignment, will allow me to position objects by either their tops, their bottoms, their lefts, their rights, or their centers. So I'm going to zoom out on this document. I'm holding down Control, Alt, and Space bar, and then I'm going to hold down just my space bar. Let's go out a little bit more so you can see my entire page here. So I have a few other objects here. Let's go ahead and make all of these have the same fill and stroke. So I'm going to shift click to get everything involved, and let's just put the same stroke and fill on each one of these. So we'll put a cyan, and we'll put a stroke of black, and the weight on all of them being about 6, and so you can see these a little bit clearer. Deselect. Okay, so my align panel, number one, I have 6 different align options or buttons right here. So I can align, like I said, to the left, to the horizontal center, to the right, to the top, to the vertical center, or to the bottom. So I'll just show you what happens here when I click. One other thing before I start, there's an Align To section, and this gives me 5 options for how I would like my aligning options to work. So I can either align to the selection, meaning it looks at all of the objects that are selected, taking that rightmost piece and the leftmost piece, and that would be my sort of area for doing this alignment. I can align it to a key object, to my margins, which would be right here, indicated on my page. Align to the page will go all the way to the edge, or to a spread. Remember, a spread is a 2-page arrangement in InDesign. All right, so I'll just keep it to selection here for my first example. So again, select everything that I want to be part of this, and then just click my button. So if I want these to be aligned left, I click and they are left. I'm going to do a Control-Z to undo. Here's the top. So you can see how nice this is for making sure that you've got things lined up without really fussing about guides or dragging guides down and zooming in to make sure that everything is perfect. If I do a distribute, this is the second piece. The distribute spaces the objects equally on the page, either vertically, horizontally, or both. So here I can distribute them to their top edges, vertically, bottom edges, and then I can do it left edges, horizontal centers, and right edges. Now it's good to play with this a little bit so you understand what will happen, especially in the vertical and horizontal. So if I do this vertical centers here, what it did is it bumped this one up just a little bit. So what it's doing is it's looking at the centers here, and they are equally spaced. Let's do this now horizontally, and you can see now this one moves over because what it's doing is on a horizontal, which is my left to right type of axis, it's aligning them so now I can equally do them in a horizontal. They're equally distributed. Okay, so understanding how that works. Now if I were to do both like I just did, they will be equal. And now if I align them to the top, they're equally spaced and looks very nice even though they are different sizes.